Hello, my name is Sol ApeMan, sitting president of Polish Para-Rifle University, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to improve at Warcraft 3. It's 2024 and we have an amazing feature. Basically, we can go to Warcraft 3 Champions website, even if you are going to play only on BNet, but we can just see what other players are doing. And every other player, every pro player, every every exotic style enjoyer, like every game is registered. For example, we can go to Happy, and as we can see when we go to the match history, we can see how Happy plays versus human, versus orc, and we can just download a replay and watch it. And this is a big changer because in the past, in order to check how, for example, a pro player was playing, you need to go to like Warcraft 3 info to look for like tournament replays, and like that was a problem to find the replay you want. Maybe you wanted to see a creep road on particular map, and it was hard to find. So this is amazing. And you can ask me, Soul, but is watching replay really a good way of learning Warcraft? And in my opinion, this is the best way at start. Because Warcraft 3 is a pretty old game. There is not that many active YouTubers that are like recording tutorials, you know. So there's a bittersweet news, but you need to basically learn at yourself. You know, you need to learn by your own, and watching replay is amazing feature, and I will show you how to optimize it basically. So in order to watch replays efficiently, we need to find our style. Okay, like if you are playing like undead, okay, you probably know how Happy plays, but maybe you can say that, for example, you don't like what Happy is doing in Under Mirror because it's hard and you prefer other approaches, you know. And the good news is that in the ranking there are many other undeads, like Labyrinth. We have Sunlight, Orange is 120, I think. So there is many players to copy. So it doesn't need to be the top player. It has to be player that you like his style basically, and you will be happy to try to copy it. And now, what we can learn while watching a replay, and it depends, you know. On how good you are, you know. If you like advanced, you probably know every opener, and you are be looking for only for some like late game details, optimizing creep roads, item management, micro decisions, you know, like there is a big fight, do you focus a hero, do you kite, do you heal units, do you attack units, which spell to choose, and so on and so on. But if you are like a player that's like it's like on the beginner side, of course you can check the build order. Maybe you don't know what build order should you do versus Nigel, for example, as an undead player. And watching a pro player game basically gives you the most optimal build order. Like, for example, if you are going to look for a build order, don't read some old articles, don't ask on some forums, you know. It takes time, you know. Even if article is good, even if someone on forum wants to help you, watching the replay by your own eyes gives you the huge advantage, because you can say, okay, I'm making build order that, for example, Lynn, orc player, is doing versus elf on ladder, and no one will criticize you for that. People will say this is a very good idea. So this is basically things that we are going to look for in the replays. And now I'm going to watch a replay, let's say undead, if we are speaking about undead, from, let's say, Happy. So we go to, okay, if we want to find something particular, we go to additional filters, we pick 1v1, we play our race is undead and we want to improve versus undead, and we click of course on the undead game. And as we can see, some of the games are very short, so don't watch replays like that, because every replay like under 5 minutes was probably they just didn't want to play versus each other, probably because of, I don't know, ping issue, other issues, I don't know. But we have Happy versus Sudden Crash on Northern Isles, and I'm just going to download the replay. And if you have the map, the best part is that when you downloaded the replay, you can just click it with the left click, and your Warcraft 3 will open, which is amazing. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to try to learn from the from the Happy replay under mirror, and I have no idea how to play under mirror. Okay, but I'm going to show you how I would be learning from a replay, because I used to learn a lot from replays. So as we can see, the build order is as follow: crypt into altar. So it probably means that Happy is going to open with ghouls. Now you can speed up a little bit, because there is no point to waste time, and we know that we are making ziggurat before shop. So yeah, from this replay you have the order. We can see that ghoul is gathering wood from the closest tree, and knowing Happy like this, like a little bit high level thing, probably Happy will try to make enough space here with ghouls to make a slaughterhouse. Of course, you can make slaughterhouse in front, but it will be harder to cancel during tier 2. So let's see how, because Happy is taking details into consideration. And someone may ask you, do you scout in Under Mirror? Happy scouting. So on Northern Isles versus these undead. So it's definitely possible. And is Lich playable in Under Mirror? Yet it is. But if you don't like to play Lich in Under Mirror, find another player. And it doesn't need to be Happy. It can be like 2200, 2100 undead, of course. Like if you like to play only, I don't know, ApeLords in the mirror, just find someone who plays ApeLords. No problem. So Happy scouting. And now Happy is pulling ghouls, and in this particular replay, Happy will try to play very aggressively, in my opinion. He sees Lich on the other side, so it's like a Lich mirror. But Happy decided to actually creep a camp and used Nova immediately, okay? So many times I see that, for example, like lower MMR players are not using mana, and I have no idea should you use Nova or not, but if Happy is doing it, definitely is worth it, the consideration, you know? And you have your answer, like use Nova. Because mana is regenerating now, you are creeping only with 3 ghouls because you want to tech on one base. Happy is not going to expand. So yeah. And on Northern Isles, what is Happy going to creep? As we can see, Happy is creeping another green camp, but he wants to make sure that he's not getting like creep jacked. And he saw some harass, but he has enough ghouls to prevent it, and he's not teching yet. So okay, now he tagged, and of course, as we can see, he didn't take the armor. Lost armor. He took the, of course, a sacrificial something to get more mana, and after 2 green camps, he decided to creep the orange camp, and look how good he's Happy with scouting, right? He's checking. Oh, and he saw Sudden Crash, and look! I should learn something like that. So Happy sees that his opponent is trying to rush him, and Happy says, okay, I will stop creeping immediately, because I need to defend my base. I already started my tech, and you know, it's very hard to be able to scout like Happy. It's very hard to be able to make decisions as fast as Happy does. But this, like knowing myself, I would try to at least kill the guy with item. But Happy knows that he don't want to lose any acolyte. In order to prevent that, he will go into defensive position. So Lich is coming, Happy is in defensive position, and he decided to focus enemy Lich. But now he is going deeper into the towers, probably. Okay, enemy is trying to surround Happy, but Happy has a good micro, of course. Excellent micro. Look how good he is with running with the Acolyte. Okay, this looks a little bit scary. And what happened in this game, ladies and gentlemen? Happy lost the Lich. But Happy is a professional player. Like, of course, it's annoying when your important hero dies, but his opponent lost a lot of resources, and of course, maybe Happy could micro better. I have no idea. But the important highlight from this is to not give up. Okay, do not give up. And yeah, now Happy probably will play a little bit defensively. He doesn't want to Tavern revive, in my opinion, the Lich. First of all, because enemy Lich is here, and second of all, he wants Lich to be on full HP, because he has no option to basically heal the Lich without decay. And look what Happy is doing. So Happy is going to leave every creep at red HP and finish the camp when Lich is out. So Happy has like damage control gameplay in mind when his hero dies, in the early game. So this is a small detail, but in order to have a lot of MMR, you need to be ready for every situation. And now what we can say, Happy is immediately taking tier 3. And this game was a little bit aggressive, I'm not saying that in every undead mirror you should immediately take tier 3 before your second hero, before the slaughterhouse. He has a little bit late graveyard, but yeah, it's important, You don't want your third hero, you want tier 3 first. Okay, Happy is now creeping again. And he sold his TP in the early game. I didn't pick that. And this is a big creep jack by his opponent. Happy doesn't have boots, but enemy Lich died. Just like that. And Happy is now healing his Lich. So yes, they exchange hero kills. So yeah, never give up. And now, what is Happy going to do? Okay, I will try to guess, because also important thing when you are watching a replay, try to think what would you do, in this particular situation. So with this army, I know that I'm not able to creep the lab. Lab is too hard. Maybe I'll try to creep the expansion, but the expansion is probably, first of all, it can be crept by the opponent. This camp is a little bit easy. To be honest, I don't know. Every of these camps is kind of hard. And Happy has only 4 ghouls to work with. Like, I don't know. Okay, Happy will try to creep the lab. And actually, it works like a charm. I didn't know that this lab can be crept kinda easy. And his DK is coming. He will heal the Lich immediately. So yeah, it takes time. But of course, it's definitely possible, as Happy shows. And of course, he swapped the Road of Necromancy. Okay, now he wants to give a level 2 to DK, because he would rather have 3-2 than 4-1 heroes. Basically, Aura is good. Now DK, you can think why DK is going to his base, probably to buy orb, in order to buy orb. Yes, indeed. Frenzy Ghoul as fast as possible. And Happy is playing ghouls, and as you can see in this game, Happy is not investing in any ghoul upgrades, right? And now he picked Dark Ranger, and Dark Ranger is good for 2 reasons in Undead Mirror, in my opinion. First of all, silence. Silence is very powerful. You want to kill enemy hero, and in the last moment you are silencing enemy decays to prevent healing. And also, like, if there is a ghoul fight, making skeleton ghouls die quickly. They have low HP, and every ghoul killed with the dark arrow gives the skeleton. And Lich can eat skeletons like candy to have more and more mana. So it's also good. For example, Happy has the Lion Horn Stormwind, and even there will be a lot of magic damage, spell damage, I mean. He's not going to sell this item. He likes this item. So, scouting the expo. Okay, his opponent has Gargs, 2 Gargs, and is Happy going to somehow react? I don't think so. Instant Nova on the Decay. Now he'll try to surround the Lich. And enemy Lich just decided to TP out. And as you can see, Happy is not chasing. I think Happy will creep the camp in the middle. This is very important decision. This can be like a game changer. Like less experienced player would probably attack. And now Happy can just grab a few camps, right? He's not 50 food yet, so he has time to creep some camps. And let's see if he's going to feed a XP to Lich, because like you probably should get XP only on your 2 low heroes, but Lich has a very high DPS, you know, so it's kinda slow to creep without Lich. And to deny Lich XP, you need to put him like here, so he cannot attack. And yes, more ghouls, still 0/0 upgrades, ghoul, destroyer. That's the army composition that Happy likes. It's probably going to buy Hill Scroll. Boots and TP. That is probably correct decision, and I had no idea that you should buy boots and TP. Like, I would say boots, it's crazy, but this is what Happy does, man. This is what Happy does. And this exchange will probably be the... He has Frostworm! Okay, like Happy can, like this Lich can solo this Frostworm probably, but this is a nice surprise actually. Okay, Happy decided to attack, and he immediately sniped Lich because of this beautiful silence. On the enemy DK there is silence level 1, so he couldn't heal him. And now Lich on Frostworm, or not? The ghouls are dying, man. Okay, so he decides to kill Gargs first, so then his destroyers can kill the Frostworm. That was a smart move by Mr. Happy. And now Frostworm is not protected anymore. So yeah, a little bit summary for what I have learned. I learned that you open ghouls, that if you scout that your opponent is opening Lich, you prefer creeping. And then if your hero dies and the opponent is like not close, you can start creeping the camp to leave it on red HP. So I learned that you can really creep the lab if your DK is going out, because creeping the lab is not that bad with ghouls. And if you tank with Lich and is going to be healed, is okay. And I also learned that Happy prefer to buy boots over Hill Scroll, which is surprising to me. Okay? And with this knowledge in the Add and Undead Mirror, I will try this style. This style. Okay, a few more comments. Potential problems about this method. Okay, some players says that Happy is too good, that it's too hard to recreate. That learning from Happy is like too hard. So, for example, maybe playing Lich first is super micro intensive. Okay, maybe playing ApeLord first. You have a lot of beetles, you know, you have a lot of army, you just creep, you can expand, you know. So find other player. So we are going to the rankings, and let's see what Labyrinth is playing in Undead Mirror. Labyrinth versus Sunlight. As we can see, they prefer Lich. So other player. Ali Luna, Lich. Okay, we can agree that Lich is a meta. But a similar name, Mr. Cement, Cryptlord player, he also plays Lich. So far, my research shows me that yes, that Lich first is like almost a must in Under Mirror. Okay, Lich. Okay, I'm not going to discuss with those pro players that are very good. So okay, but the lower, okay, because they're like the best players. But it's nothing wrong, in my opinion, if you don't, of course, you don't want to be like a professional player, it's like 20 years too late, with all due respect. We can find like some lower MMR, but still very powerful players. Maybe Mr. Deuce is playing something else than Leech. And as you can see, this research takes some time, but you have. Oh, we have DK Blitz, 1900 MMR player. If you want to learn how to play ApeLords first, I'm not saying that Mr. DK Blitz is doing everything fine. There is a big difference because between 2800, 2600 MMR player and 1900 MMR player. But if you say that Soul, I really don't like Lich first, okay? I would rather uninstall Warcraft than play Lich first in Undead Mirror. Okay, find someone who plays other heroes, someone good, and try to see how they are. Oh, this Undead player plays DK first, and he won versus Deuce. It's possible, yes, it's possible. Okay, now my opponent plays off meta. Okay, I got this argument often as well. So someone can say, okay, I saw happy replays, I'm trying to recreate the replay, but like opponents that I'm meeting on like 1200 1400 mmr are playing such a weird style. So like watching happy is not good. And what to do in this situation is to find someone who is able to win versus this off-meta guy that you are meeting on the ladder. I prepared for you really weird player, okay? I met him from time to time on ladder. And what is interesting about him is that he's leaving every orc mirror. He doesn't want to play orc mirror, so his MMR is a little bit lower than it should be. But he's very good versus human. And you may say, okay, maybe he plays standard versus human, okay? Look, he's winning so many games versus human. He's so good versus human, okay? And he's playing very weird style. Solo Farseer, will show you. He plays solo Farseer, a little bit of army, proxy barrack. This guy is omega weird. And he has 1800 MMR. On every map, he knows a location from a proxy barrack versus human, okay? And this is omega weird. And I have like 50% win ratio versus him. Even I know in advance what he's going to do, right? Like, is he going to make a shop here? I think so. So I'm not going to watch the full replay, but like I spent so many time like killing this barrack and should just ignore this barrack, and like he's making shop here. He has this entire game plan. And of course, the kicker is that he's going solo. Look, he knows that he can stuff to shop across the map. Like this guy plays, like it's super weird what he's playing. And Happy probably will never face him. And Happy is an undead player, so I don't know. Sock will probably never face him. Fortitude will probably never face him, And like there is a question how to counter this style, because this style has like a lot of chapters. Now he's making army, but it's only like an introduction to Mass Wyvern, and he's going to lame. Look, he's making two bestiaries not in his base to have like faster travel to the human base to lame faster. This guy has everything prepared, right? And you can say Soul, but how watching Happy, I don't know, a Sock replay can prepare me for situation like that? And the answer is it won't prepare you. But what would prepare you? I just want to show you the first earthquake. because like this guy and human is thinking, oh, I'm in a good shape, but look, it's just a beginning from Mr. Zinedine. This is so weird. So annoying, by the way. Like, he's just laming. And he has this trick when human is building the base very greedy, he's always using the invis thing. Look, he bought the invis thing. And he's basically blocking human from entering his own base, which is omega annoying. Oh, this was very bad by him. Basically lost a wyvern for nothing. Now he's stuffing away like he's living in the human base. What is this? And of course, if you meet something like that for the first time, it's super weird, right? Super weird. He's creeping because his goal is to get into earthquake. He's buying sapper. Ah, he wants to kill the workshop or a tower workshop. Human is lumber starved. This is so sad, man. So yeah, like human is trying to defend with gyros, but it's only a matter of time. And for example, like he's trying to expand. Like this is so annoying. So annoying. He's laming. He's just waiting for the earthquake. You need to kind of make a full wall off versus it. Human has, and he denied his Farseer. But he has an expansion, so he's in a very good position. And his level 6 is coming. Okay. Now human wants to kill the expansion, but it's taking him so much time. And Org is just laming. 2 arcane towers are not going to win this exchange, and level 6. Solo earthquake. So yeah, human is killing the expo, but entire base of human is dead. And this guy always plays like this. Always. Of course, it varies from map to map. But you may ask Soul, I want to know what to do versus this guy. And the best answer is that you go to the human player that basically wins versus him. So you can watch Dead Replay, Iron Lang. You can watch this or Dead Replay, you know? And this is how you learn. And even if it's like not happy, it's 1000 MMR below happy, this is how you learn how to counter this particular style. And check what other players from your level are doing versus that particular player. And if you are playing on BNet, sad news, there is not such an amazing replay system there. Okay, so what else we can discuss? My opponent plays of meta. Okay, we covered that. You don't understand something. Perfect. Because it's kind of hard to understand every single step. I have been playing Pala Rifle since like 1 year. And recently, Lemes said that I'm managing my mana like a total noob. So there is a lot of things to improve, even if you execute strategy often, you know, those high level details. So, of course, you won't understand everything, you won't notice everything. And when you have questions after watching a replay, it's perfect because without watching a replay, you don't even know your questions. And basically, making a good question uh, almost solves your problem. It's like a very important step. And how you can ask your questions. Where? Because sadly, ChatGPT doesn't know much about Warcraft 3, I'm afraid. And my suggestions are write in Jim Ray's channel, Jim Warcraft 3 Champions Jim Discord is very popular. There are a lot of like players there, and there are 4 race channels, of course. Human, Undead, Orc, and Night Elf. And if you have a question, ask there. For example, my question about undead mirror on high level, I would ask mm, in undead channel, is leech mirror is leech like mandatory in undead mirror on high level? Or for example, do you know any like good ApeLord player that I can copy replays from? Okay. And other details like how to counter Gargs if your opponent is playing a lot of Gargs. Should you go Fiends? Should you go Gargs yourself? Details like that. Also, it's very good to have a high MMR friend. It's really helped. Shout out to Mr. Inspired, shout out to Mr. Kuberte, probably more, but I used to talk with some high MMR guys on Discord, and they gave me a lot of these like high end feedback, because like they can like they understand problems of particular matchup much better, and they can give you like 2 lines of advice that are very, very powerful. For example, when I used to play standard in human mirror, in human versus undead, so you expand and you go knights, gyros, priests, big army. I used to overmate knights, and my undead opponents were very happy to counter me with a lot of banshees. Okay, and when you have like 6-7 knights, it's kind of hard to switch to mords because you need to trade them, and basically I was overmaking knights, and Mr. Inspired just like for him to catch this was super easy, but it's not like this very obvious thing to catch. So if you have some high MMR friend that you can ask a question, it's also good. And we are in GNL. Some of you are in GNL, and you can ask your team captain, but you need to remember that probably team captain doesn't know much about Undead Mirror if he's not an Undead player himself. So it's better to follow up this question to specific Undead coach that is willing to interact with some Undead. And of course, it's general rule, neither players have their own coach, and so on. And of course, how much replays do you need to watch, and how much replay, and how much should you play? In my opinion, if you know the build order and you know general game plan, okay. So I'm going to play ladder. Okay, I should know build order versus every race. I should know if I should expand, if I should creep versus every race. If I don't know the exact creep road, no problem. If I don't know, like for example, which items to buy, stuff like that, is not a problem. But you should know that, for example, versus Neither, if you play one base and you make like 2 destroyers, or what to do versus Neither that's expanding, like you need to have some general knowledge. So if you don't know something, try to at least watch one replay that will throw a new light on your problem. So my advice, if you really want to learn, of course, not just spam games, is to like watch 2 replays and play 2 games, And also you can, if you have a replay from a pro player on the same map as you recently played, when you have the fresh game in your mind, you can watch a pro player replay on the same map in the same matchup to spot immediately like big differences. Okay, other things to do. A really good resource is Liquipedia. And for example, on Liquipedia, we can learn some things. I spend a lot of time on Liquipedia as well. For example, did you know that hero armor has some damage reduction from a spell? So, for example, if you are throwing coil level 1 at the enemy hero, it only hits for 70 HP because it's hero armor. Usually, coil deals 100 HP without any reduction, right? So, like, I like to read the spell description, stuff like that. For example, what is also important, how particular spell is scaling. So if you go to the Leech, right? As we can see, for example, Frost Armor is one of those spells that is not scaling well. So like it gives you, if you skill it on level 4, it gives you 2 additional armor. It costs the same. It has the same cooldown, and slow duration is a little bit longer, but it's not a good scaling. Like Nova is scaling like crazy. Okay, Nova is like this AOE Nova damage is like duplicating, right? And it's like huge. So like description of things like that I really like to read. So in my opinion, if you went Frost Armor on level 2, on level 4, you should go for Dark Ritual to maybe deny a unit, to take some mana from Dark Ritual in important situation, not to make Frost Armor level 2, because it doesn't really make sense. There is a very, very small benefit from that. So this is why I like to read Wikipedia, and also watching some pro live stream is good when you really focus on what would you do in particular situation. So you need to try to think ahead. Like, okay, my opponent just like I'm watching Happy just grabbed the expo. Okay, he's level 2. Is he going to attack the opponent, or is he going to creep level 3? When he's making his second hero, is he going tier 3 beforehand? It's not as easy as watching replay, and of course you can do it the same with replays, but yeah, people like to watch live streams. So if you watch some stream to learn something, try to think ahead. It's a very good practice, a very good habit, and don't be don't be scared of playing on ladder. Don't be scared of losing MMR. If you are going to practice, you are going to go out from your comfort zone, but with the knowledge from the replays, you can basically play ladder, and it's a perfect perfect combination, because like to do things fast in Warcraft, you need to have this muscle memory, right? So if you learn that you should go instantly tier 3 with undead, you should have this habit. You shouldn't even think about this in like undead mirror. I always go tier 3. I don't think about this. Then I make my second hero. Then I make slaughterhouse, right? So yes, this is a very good habit, and it was a little bit longer than I expected video, but this is how I would learn Warcraft 3 from scratch, and even on higher level in 2024, because you have access to so many replays, so from so many players, from so many different styles, that it's amazing. And if you want to like improve, you saw how fast it is. You just click on download, and you left click the replay, and then you can watch it in Warcraft. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, any suggestions, maybe you want to hear something in other video about some other aspect of Warcraft, about control groups, about hotkeys, about improving your micro, stuff like that, let me know on Discord or in comments. Thank you for watching. In your soul, ApeMan, sitting president of Polish Rifle University.